You're listening to the Life Coaching Secrets Podcast, episode 231.
Did you know that life coaches are needed now more than ever? I'm Frank Macri, founder of Thriving Coach Academy. I've trained over 1,000 coaches and helped them launch their own successful coaching businesses. If you want to make an incredible income and impact as a coach and have a lot of fun doing it, I'll show you exactly how to get it done. This is Life Coaching Secrets.
All right, hey everybody. I have a very special guest for today's episode on the podcast. Her name is Sasha Sidel, and she's one of our graduates in Thriving Coach Academy. We've been looking forward to this interview for a long time, and she runs a part-time coaching business helping people upgrade their careers. So Sasha, I'm so excited to have you here today.
I'm so excited to be here. What a full circle.
Seriously. Wow. And those of you, you're going to experience Sasha in this episode, but her energy is so fun and magnetic and amazing. So we're going to talk about how Sasha got into her coaching career. Of course, she went through Thriving Coach Academy and she's built up her practice. So why don't we start out with just the reason why you decided to specialize in career coaching? What's the story behind that?
Yeah, so careers take up such a huge part of our life. So in my personal journey, I have actually transitioned once upon a time from being a retail manager into an HR professional. I'm a recruiter, technology recruiter. And I know how, at the time, I remember how difficult I thought this transition was going to be. And when I also added career coaching to my expertise, I also know like that's something that gives me full purpose, and I wanted to share it with others. And
Mhm.
actually, the reason I thought it was even possible for me are two things. The first thing was is that I actually got a coach myself, a life coach. And
Mhm.
the second thing was is that I was volunteering at a nonprofit where I was coaching people for free, and the very first person that I coached was a success and landed the job that she was looking for. And through working with my coach, I thought, oh, hey, like I think I have something here. I could really do this as a business.
Wow. Beautiful. Okay, so when it comes to the clients that you typically work with, you notice, I'm sure, certain signs and challenges that they're experiencing. So what are the main signs that someone could benefit from working with a career coach like you? What do you notice?
So usually it's when people dread going to work every day, or when Sunday comes around and they're just like mentally are so down.
Mm.
They live for vacations and weekends. And I remember that used to be my life too.
Yeah.
When every time I would go on vacation, the only thing I could think of is when I can go to the next vacation. But I hated the lifestyle that the retail management gave me.
Yeah.
Lack of belief, like thinking, well, this is how it's always been done. This is, my parents went to the 9 to 5. Now I have to do it. And people really believing that they don't have an opportunity to love their jobs, that they're
Yeah.
stuck, or feeling like, okay, I'm doing this right now and I've been doing it for a decade. So how can I ever try something else? How can I change my life? How can I change my career? So those are like some telltale signs that you need a career coach.
Yeah.
Well,
So let me,
sorry to cut you off, but
you're good.
I actually have a last one that I've experienced personally, and that's why I've got into coaching, where I didn't necessarily hate my career as a recruiter. I love recruiting,
Okay.
but I always felt like there has to be more to this.
Oh, that is a good one.
There has to be more to this. Like, I
Hmm.
feel like I'm not challenged enough.
Mm.
Like, I feel like I have a deeper purpose within myself,
Yep.
and I don't know what it is, but it's there. Like, I can do more. And
That
that's a
is huge.
con, right? Because you could be
Yeah.
happy in what you do, and you could love your job, and you could be content, right? But if you have the itch, like I could do more,
Mm-hmm.
what more could I do? You need to speak to me then. It was fun. It was
That
fun.
because we know that that itch is not going to go away,
Oh, it doesn't. It
right?
doesn't.
That's great. I mean, so many of these signs, a lot of people just normalize it and rationalize it and think, well, you're just supposed to dread going into work, or you're just supposed to live for your vacations and then like count down the days to the next one. And oh, this is just how it's always been. This is how everyone experiences their careers. And I love that you point out that actually it doesn't have to be this way. There is a path forward, and it's never too late to change your career. But you need help. You need support. It's one of, like you said, the biggest decisions we make in our life is what do we do for work. So tell us, Sasha, when we go into your actual coaching sessions and you're working with your clients, what are the some of the most common rules that you see are holding your clients back? And for context, one of the signature tools we teach our coaches is the rule book coaching method, which is all about recognizing what are the rules that we have that we're living by? What are all the expectations, the shoulds, the assumptions that feel heavy, that weigh people down? And sometimes these are uh, not often as noticeable as you realize until you work with a coach who can recognize what those rules are and help to rewrite them with you. So, what are some of the rules you notice with your clients?
Yeah. So a big one is that I can't really pursue my true passion because it is unrealistic.
Mm,
So at Thrive Coaching Academy, we know that we hate the word realistic. But what is realistic? We create our own reality.
yeah.
But that's a huge one. People feel like, maybe they had a dream from childhood and now
Yes.
they're adult and they're like, okay, but that was just a childhood dream. Well, working with me, that is really one of the first things that I ask you.
I love
What
it.
was your childhood dream? Because when you're a child, you are not limited by all of these beliefs yet that others, that the society, your parents, your grandparents, everyone pushes on you. You are just you as a child. So that's a huge, really huge rule that people just create for themselves. It's unrealistic. It's unrealistic. The second one is, and this is a big one right now, the job market is challenging and you cannot get a job. So there is actually a new, and I'll clue you into something like a new notion in this space called quiet cracking. So if you remember, there
Mm,
was quiet quick quitting, and quiet
mhm.
quitting was like you kind of checking out of the job while you're in it and you're doing just enough not to get fired. Well, quiet
Okay.
cracking is something else. Quiet cracking is you're really miserable in your job. You hate it. You cannot stand it, but you will not look for another job because the job market is bad. And
Ooh,
I want to challenge this by
yeah.
saying people get great offers and opportunities in bad markets all the time. In fact, and this goes just not just for career, your life. Some of your most defining moments happen to you when everything falls apart, when you are the unhappiest, the most miserable, because that really
Interesting.
puts you in a place to evaluate your life and think about what you actually want. And
Mm,
speaking of bad job markets, I recently had a client, Sunil, who has opted to work with me for, we work 3 to 6 months together,
mm.
depending on what we work on the result of him getting an offer. Sunil got 5 offers, I
Wow.
kid you, within 2 months. Five. But
Wow.
interestingly, Sunil is also a candidate that had limitations in a sense of he was actually on a work visa, which a lot of, and I can tell you as a recruiter, many companies are not wanting to hire people on these visas
Mm,
because it's like they sort of have an expiration point at some point and they have to invest more. Well, that didn't stop him. He received 5 offers. My
wow.
other client who came into me looking for a corporate executive role in HR has had many interviews that didn't really turn into materialize yet.
Yeah.
But as we were working together, he realized I can do this on my own. I don't
Ooh,
need these corporations to tell me, and that's something I've been telling him from day one.
yeah.
Like, you have so much experience here. You have a brand that you just need to put out. and he's getting opportunities. Like, when your clients go beyond where you are. Like,
Yeah.
I've been dying to get the top voice on LinkedIn. It's a special badge that's like really elite. Oh, he just told me last time
Got
that
it.
he's being considered for top voice. And he said, I've been working at this for years. You know what? I'm so happy for him.
Yeah. What an awesome
Uh,
feeling.
yeah, yeah. So these are just some of the real life stories that I wanted to share with this audience.
And what comes through as you're sharing this, Sasha, is just how genuinely happy you are for your clients and your passion for working with them. I love what you said in the very beginning, which was just how we have this idea of what we think is reality. And when you work with a coach like you, all of that gets turned upside down. Like, whose definition of reality are we basing everything on? Because once you start working with the coach, you start to actually create the reality that you want to have. You start to question what you thought was unrealistic, and you make it realistic for yourself. So this is some good stuff here, and that story about Sunil is incredible. So tell us, what is there's a lot of, commonly thought ideas out there about careers and the job market and everything. And I thought it was very interesting when you said that it's true that people can actually have so much opportunity in bad times. That phrase you said, which was it quietly cracking?
By
I
cracking. Yeah.
I had never heard. I
The
remember like
new,
quietly quitting, but quietly cracking. That's super interesting.
new term. Yeah. Yeah. It's a new term. The Business Insider has put kind of a title on.
Yeah. Yeah. How, like, in those moments where you feel like everything inside of you starting to crumble, like, those are the moments where actually opportunity is born when you start to, like, break down this foundation of what you were just to put together what you're sharing, like what was comfortable for you, these jobs that were okay, maybe good in some regard, but comfortable. But inside, you're internally cracking and you want things to change. So a lot of people have the idea that you need to have this perfect resume, right, in order to get you the job that you want. So for people who think that, oh, it's just about the resume, like, what are your thoughts about that?
This is one of my favorite subjects because if I tell you the number of people who reach out to me and ask me to look at their resume, first of all, like, you're going to learn a lot in this podcast about what's coming up. I always keep myself super, on top of what's happening. Resumes are going to be gone. Like, I'm just telling you this, guys,
Okay.
give it probably another 5 years or so, if that.
Wow.
I will tell you exactly why. With the AI in our lives, we can all make resumes very easily, very quickly. We can
Yeah.
tailor them to every job. And in fact, that's what you should be doing right now. But companies are faced with such a challenge, and I can tell you this because I am still a full-time recruiter working in a company, is
Mhm.
that because everyone can make their resume tailored towards a job, they're getting a whole bunch of people that actually have nothing to do with the job. And
Yep.
this is the reality I want everyone who's listening to understand, is that when you look at a job posting and you see, like, on LinkedIn, you'll see 100 applicants, 1,000 applicants. I want you to understand that from the other side, as a recruiter, as I'm opening up those 100 applications, maybe four are
Wow.
actually qualified for the job. Yes, those are the numbers.
4 out of 1,000.
Four. Yes. So
Wow.
what is easier for Sasha, the recruiter, to do? It is easier for me to go on LinkedIn and just find the person that I'm looking for
Yeah.
versus going through those 100 applications that I
Mm.
know are not going to work out. You need
Mm.
to stop worrying about your resume. Your resume doesn't matter if no one sees it. What you need to do instead, you need visibility. You need to build your brand on LinkedIn and you need to get in front of people. Like, if I can give you free advice today in those two things, if you're looking for a job, I know everyone knows someone
Yep.
who's right now looking for a job.
Yes.
Two things: LinkedIn, your profile has to be optimized,
Mm.
and two, talk to actual people, get
Mm.
in front of people. And that's where my networking framework comes in.
Okay, and we're going to talk about that. That is
Yeah.
huge, though. that the resume is out and LinkedIn optimization is in, you must know how to brand yourself. And I think when some people hear branding, they might just think, oh, that's for just entrepreneurs or, business owners. But what you're sharing here is no, everyone has their own brand, and you need to know how to leverage that and share that and make sure you're getting in front of the people that are going to invite you into those job opportunities. So a little bit before the call when we were recording today, we had briefly mentioned one of your big ideas when you work with clients is really in your belief that there's nothing in the world that is out of your hands. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So, so many people that come to talk to me, they really they really don't know what, like, when you ask them what they want,
Yep.
they are so far away from knowing what they want or admitting it to themselves
Yep.
that they they don't even know.
Yeah.
So, like, you got to spend some time with yourself and first ask yourself, what is it that I want?
Mm-hmm.
And you create your own reality. Like, Frank and I were talking about the word that we don't use word realistic in Thriving Coach Academy because there's no such thing. You
Mm-hmm.
create your own reality. It
Yep.
doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're an immigrant. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. Right now, with internet economy, we are seeing people from third world countries often making six-figure incomes in US dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they can
Amazing.
do that, then what can you do in a first world country? Like, I just
Amazing.
wanted to put things in perspective for you that whatever your dream is or whatever you're scared to dream about,
Mm.
someone's out there is doing it. And
Yeah.
they're not more special than you. They just went for it. And
Yes.
when they faced their first hurdle, they didn't give up. They just kept going for it.
Yeah. Very good. All right. Well, and I think we all need to remember too that you don't have to navigate the career landscape by yourself. And I'm kind of reminded of dating coaching, Sasha, when you're talking, because, if someone has perhaps, or they're just entering the world as an adult and they're dating for the first time, it's overwhelming. Just like if you're entering the job market for the first time, it's so overwhelming because you're like, how do I play this game? But if you've already been in a career for a long time and now you're looking to change or shift things, when, like you mentioned, how technology and AI has changed the whole landscape and LinkedIn, well, that's scary to navigate on your own. Like with dating, if you've been in a long relationship and now you're entering the dating pool, this is why we have dating coaches. How do you now play the game and win in the way that's going to serve you? So, this is why you need to have a career coach. Sasha, tell us, what would you say in a little bit? What is your coaching style like?
Okay. First, I just want to say, dating and job search is the same thing. Like, literally, literally. And it all goes back to, coming back to yourself, to your self-worth, and knowing that the right job or person is out there for you, having that certainty. So
Hmm.
when you work with me, I help you get back to that certainty.
Hmm.
And my style is very mindful because I do practice compassion and empathy for what you have been through, but it is not a pity party. And
Yeah.
very often I tell my clients directly, like, things that may be triggering to them, but they need to hear it. They need to hear the truth. So
Yep.
I can be compassionate and empathetic and hold your hand, but still tell you the truth and things that you need to hear because we all have blind sides.
Yep.
Someone myself who is very invested in my self-development, and actually the reason I'm even still in a full-time job is because every single dollar I've made in my business I have invested back into coaching
Mm.
myself, getting coaches for myself because I believe in it so much.
Yeah.
If you want to up level in any area of your life,
Mm.
a coach is essential.
Yep.
Now, can you do it without a coach? Sure, maybe, but it's going to take you so much longer and it's going to be super painful. You want to go to a person who's done it themselves, who's helped others do it and gets results because then your road becomes so much easier and
Yep.
you have like a true trusted partner on your journey with you.
Well
It's
said.
valuable.
Well said. Okay, so you work with clients in a number of different ways. You do some one-on-one work. You also have a group as well that we were talking about earlier. And what's the overall framework if you were to like distill it down to the three main steps that you walk your clients through? What's the framework
Sure.
that you have?
Sure. So whether we're working one-on-one or you're working with me in the group, the process is very similar.
Okay,
Um, I do an assessment in the beginning of our time together to see where you are, so
perfect.
that once we're done, we're going to see where you have improved, what the progress was. But
Excellent.
we focus on three major components. The first one is LinkedIn optimization.
Perfect.
So is your profile reflective of your personal brand, of who you are and your strength and your results, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always look at it through the lens. If I'm a company, or even if you're trying to build your business, if I'm a client, if I'm a buyer, right? What result do you bring to this
Mm,
other person? Whether a buyer, like you want to focus on the result that you bring, how you help them.
excellent.
Second, the second component
Yeah.
of this is networking.
Okay.
So, and this is a skill that will help you not just in career, in your life. Knowing people is everything.
Mm,
Like, and being able to, a lot of people believe that networking is like, I'm very passionate about this, so I'm going to go off on attention. A lot of people believe that, oh, networking is like, I'm going to message this person and say, hey, my name is so and so. I see you work at an X company. Can you refer me? Well, why would they refer you? They don't know you,
yeah.
right? That's not what networking is. Networking is about building relationship and giving before you're getting. That
Hmm.
even though you're really reaching out to that person because they work in a company that you want to work in, you
Yeah.
still want to figure out a way of how you can give value to that person. And the third
I like it.
component, which I think is the most important, is the mindset work, because majority of people who come to me are actually amazing at what they do.
Mm,
They're fully competent. They can do these jobs with their eyes closed, but because they lack confidence, this shines through in everything that they do. So
yes.
working on your mind every day is something that when you work with me, that's what you're doing. Like I set you up in a way where mindset work is a daily activity for you, because it's intentional, it's what you need to do to get to your next level.
So good. So good. I love that you combine both the inner and the outer. So you're doing that inner work, looking at the rules and your mindset, but also you're optimizing the LinkedIn profiles and you are coming up with that strategy for networking that actually works, not like the outdated old school idea of what it is. All right. So you've got so much client success. I love the stories you shared earlier, but tell us any more client experiences or stories that you want to share.
Yeah, there are just so many. So one of my clients, Robin, he came to me, he was in tech sales, and he came to me because he was in his first job, not post-college. He had like an entrepreneurial venture, and then he went into this job that was in a small company that was paying him very, very little. And he just wanted, like, his dream was to get a better job that paid more, essentially, right? He already liked what he did. Just from one session together where I had him update his LinkedIn profile and I told him about the networking framework that he should be using, he has landed 5 interviews within 4 weeks. And that is like
Amazing.
an amazing, five different companies
Wow.
got him to a 40% pay increase, which was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, so he ultimately got two offers. He got 40% increase, but it wasn't just that. He got an opportunity to build out a sales function in a new startup himself,
Mm,
which is like I because when you work with me, we don't focus just on your next goal. I always say to my clients, okay, this is our immediate goal. Like you want to get a job that pays more. But
yeah,
what do you see for your career long term? And we need to make sure that that next job is working into its way for your overall career goals.
I love that. I love
So
that. Hmm.
but for him, like essentially, he knew that at some point he's going to go out on his own and maybe start a startup himself. What's a better way to do that than being like a fourth employee in a startup and building out an entire sales function? And in these type of companies, sales is the main thing. Like you're
Yes.
not selling, you're not making money. So that was an amazing, amazing
That's
opportunity.
incredible.
Another story that
They
I'd
just
love.
keep coming. Oh my
Oh
God. I love it.
another story that I want to share is my client Yulia. So Yulia came to me, she was in the job market for 5 months. She worked, this is like unheard of these days. She worked at the same company for 25 years and she's gotten laid off. And this is for all my people who feel like, the job market is ageist. This is a very popular thing. And here, I'm going to throw in a little bit of coaching here. Here's what I have to say about that. Does ageism exist? Absolutely. Of course. We'd be crazy to say no. Should you think about it and think how it impacts you and your life? No, it's not helping you. Not at all. Like we can look at it as like, oh my God, I'm gonna go in an interview, they're gonna think I'm too old. Or we can look at it as like, I'm gonna walk into this interview like a boss that I am because I've done A, B, and C. Let's go. So I do want to talk about Yulia's specific story because I think it's very interesting how it worked out.
Yeah.
He was interviewing for a job that paid significantly less than she was making at her last job. But she was at a point where she felt like, you know what? Like I've been out of work now for 6 months. I'm just gonna take it. If they offer it, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna do great and I'm gonna be fine with it. She went through a couple of rounds and then unfortunately her mother passes away, which is such a terrible life event. She had to reschedule her last interview. They rescheduled it just a week. Obviously, a person walking into a job interview after such a tragic life event is not going to perform at their best. She doesn't get the job.
Mm,
And what I say to her is the only reason you did not get this job is because a much better job is on its way for you.
yeah.
Guess
Nice.
what? That is exactly what happened. Not only did she get a much better job, that paid more than her previous job. This was literally her dream job. Her
Wow.
dream was to get into financial services.
Mm,
And it's difficult. Like financial services can be, pretty snobby. Like they typically want people from other financial services. And she didn't
mm,
come from that world. But she
wow.
met with the hiring manager. He liked her because she's freaking amazing. And she got the offer and she's already been working there for I think 2 3 months now, and she was so happy working with me that she even came to one of my free things that I do and shared her experience with
Wow.
the audience, which is so nice that she took
Yeah.
the time out after paying me
Yeah.
time out of her day to give me like a really nice testimonial. But that's what I always tell my clients anytime, and especially when you're like interviewing, I want you to think of it that way. Like when you don't get the job and you get rejected, it's
Mm,
so hard because that sometimes stops people in their tracks and
yes.
sends them back. Like the same way, like when we don't, our clients don't sign up with us, sometimes we feel like, oh my God, like why wouldn't they? And that prevents us from going out and making more offers. The same way for my clients. I always tell them this. You know what? Look at it. You just had a practice interview because your dream job is around the corner. And now you've had all this practice by getting rejected that you're actually going to outperform your best performance on
Yeah.
the job that you're actually dreaming about.
Yeah. Unbelievable. And I'm just getting chills as you talk about
Oh,
these stories because it's not just a testimonial. These are lives that are changing through your support, through your coaching programs. I mean, the fact that you've got the clients that are not just so happy that they're, sharing their success, but they're coming back to actually talk with your audience about it is so huge and must feel incredible.
it
I
really
mean,
does.
it's what this.
It really, and I'm so grateful to be in this place and like have the courage that I'm so thankful to myself that I've had the courage to actually pursue this because I thought about being a coach probably for like a decade. I kid you not, guys. Like I would look up, Tony Robbins and all these things and think, oh, I would probably like really love doing this, but never following through. And guess what made me follow through? Getting a coach.
Yes. Yes. Amazing.
Getting a coach.
This is what it's all about. I mean, Sasha, before we go, I want you to share some of the resources, how people can get into your world. But I want to also just applaud you because you've taken everything that we provide, the resources, even the feedback, being a student and now a graduate of Thriving Coach Academy, and you've ran with it. And I love to see it because now this is the whole ripple effect. Like we support coaches, you go out there, you make the difference, you make the money, you change the lives. So it's just incredible. It's incredible to hear, how you've really soaked up and utilized all the amazing support that we give and also like taken in the belief that we've had in you from the very beginning. So tell our audience where can, if maybe they know somebody that wants to change their career, then how can they get into your world?
Yeah, so I am all over social media. I am Sasha Sidel on Facebook, Sasha Eyes, Eyez. Okay, bringing it back to the early 2000s. Sasha Eyes on Instagram, Sasha Sidel on LinkedIn.
Okay.
You can find me everywhere, and I consistently do give you free resources.
Hmm.
If you honestly just go on my page and even read my content, there's a lot of value there. Additionally, I also do free webinars. Now I try to do them twice a month. I used to do them once a month. I do
Okay.
them twice a month, and all you do is register and you don't have to pay anything. And then if you choose to stay in my world, I'm so grateful. If you don't, I hope you got the value that you needed. But I definitely am so grateful to Thriving Coach Academy because I've gone in so many times on those business calls and asked for support on a lot of my programming, and they've been so supportive. So a lot of my success I owe to TCA as well, and that's why I'm so excited to be here because I know people are listening because I was listening, and this is the podcast that Frank's voice in my car with me has followed me everywhere. And then finally, like, I was thinking and thinking and thinking about it. And then finally, I was like, oh, I'm just going to do it.
So good. So good. All right. Well, we'll put the links for all of those resources and also your profiles in the chat if anyone wants to, not the chat, but in the description for the episode. So if anyone wants to check out what Sasha's up to, what her upcoming free webinars are about, then you'll be able to easily find that. Again, we'll put those links down in the description. All right, Sasha, continued success to you. Just you're changing lives. You're doing such amazing work. And I thank you for, saying yes to yourself and deciding to become a coach because, this is what it's all about. And I love seeing you win and have the success with your clients. I mean, if you can't tell everybody Sasha's energy, you probably want to be in her energy even more. So check out what she has to offer with career coaching, and big congrats on the success you've had thus far, Sasha. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Frank.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you in the next episode.
Hey, would you like access to powerful coaching tools you can use on yourself and clients right away? For being a listener of the podcast, I'm giving you a VIP guest pass to get a sneak peek into my coach training program. Inside, you'll learn our coaches' secret tool they use to transform their clients' lives. And you'll also get a training on how to launch a coaching business. Just head over to www.thrivingcoachacademy.com/VIP to get started. I'll see you on the inside.